Let's bring in Republican Senator John Thune, chairman of the Senate Republican Conference. Great to see you today. A busy one for you. So I understand that on the Senate side in this hour you'll vote a cloture vote to stop debate. How's it going?
I think good. I mean, obviously you never know until you have the vote, but I think we feel pretty good about the fact that there are a good number of people on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, who realize that this is the best solution that we can get under the circumstances, and that we need to give our military the tools and the resources that they need to succeed. That's one of the big priorities in this conversation.
Yeah, this isn't like voting on anything else. This is a government shutdown aversion if you can do it. So no doubt you're paying attention to what the other chamber is doing. When you hear Nancy Pelosi for 8 hours, historic number on the time that she spent on the House floor yesterday, saying that no, we want DACA and it's not in this. What kinds of changes are you willing to make in the Senate to make sure that when it gets to the House it passes?
I think that the votes will be there in the House. As Mike Emanuel pointed out just now, there are Democrats in the House who are going to vote for this. I think there'll be some Republicans who won't. So it'll be some combination of those two. But, her point is that she wants to have a conversation, or at least a vote on DACA and on immigration. And of course, in the Senate, as you know, next week we're going to have that debate. My assumption is at some point they'll have it in the House as well. If we pass a bill out of the Senate, I suspect the House will take that up or something else up, and we'll see where it leads.
Senator Thune, usually it's the flip. It's the House trying to, worry about, if you will, what the Senate will do. What did you do differently this time in terms of your bipartisan cobble it together, as you say? What has been successful?
I think in the Senate there's just a sense of urgency about keeping the government open, Harris. I mean, I think everybody learned a lesson, including the Democrats last time, who got associated with this. The Schumer shutdown, I think, stuck. And so I think there was a widely held view that we need to make sure that we keep the government up and operating, and that there are a lot of other issues that need to be addressed as well. I mean, getting budget caps in place, from our standpoint, critical, obviously, to funding our national security requirements, and also a debt limit that's going to ride on this. There are a series of things that had to get done that are going to get accomplished as a result of this particular piece of legislation.
Real quickly, because I know you've got to go and do your job there on Capitol Hill. Senator, when you hear the criticism that Republicans and Democrats are spending a whole lot of money now together, almost in concert, what's your clap back?
Well, first off, I think we need to fund the military. That's priority number one. If you don't get national security right, the rest is conversation. In terms of the domestic side, the Democrats insist and demand and hold hostage military funding unless they get an increase in non-defense spending. And so that's something that we have to contend with in the Senate, because we need Democrat votes. But ultimately, the real answer here, one, we've got to take on entitlement programs and make them more sustainable. That's where the real spike in federal spending comes from, and get the economy growing faster, which also generates more revenue. If you want to get rid of deficits and debt, faster growing economy, fiscal restraint, but fiscal restraint starts with taking on these programs that are really driving government spending. And frankly, there is no appetite among Democrats in the Senate or the House to do that. But I, for one, am among many that think that that's something that we have to do, and we need to do it sooner rather than later.
Well, I talked to you before the last shutdown, and you guys were trying to avert it. It didn't happen. It sounds like you've got a better path forward this time. I so appreciate you joining us this hour before the cloture vote. Thank you, Senator Thune.
Thanks, Harris. Good to be with you.